Someone once said, we are the middle children of history, born too late to explore the Earth and too early to explore the galaxy. But I believe that this person did not think about what exploration truly means to the human spirit. Remember when you were a kid, you always had to look up when you spoke to the adults, and everything seemed so big and so amazing to you. You were in your own little world, exploring the brand new one ahead of you. I remember I used to fight with my brother a lot over who presses the bell to stop the bus. To the adults, it might seem so trivial, but to us, that small little button can command the action of such a loud noise, and for the bus conductor to stop the bus. We were really amazed. Today, when everything seems so easily available and readily connected, there seems to be nothing new to discover anymore. But I believe we can still embrace the joy of exploration and discovery, only if we allow ourselves to be uncomfortable. My name is Zelia, and I'm the co-founder of a travel movement named Anywhr. Anywhr sends travelers on personalized trips off the beaten track, and you will only discover your destination at the airport. When I was a kid, I used to travel quite a bit with my family. We went to places like Australia, went to Disneyland, went to see the Great Wall. But after a while, I realized that I really hated traveling, and I told my parents, hey, I really want to stop going on these trips with you guys. But when I got older, I realized it wasn't traveling that I hated, but the way we traveled. We were always rushing to tick things off checklists, following tight schedules, queuing up for that famous food, taking photos with that famous landmark, and so on. Traveling left us even more frustrated and exhausted than before. We knew everything we wanted to do, even before we left the house. But during my diploma years, I started traveling again, this time with my friends and with no plans. We had no money, we just went to the Philippines with no plans, sleeping on floors of new local friends we met, and it was the greatest time I had. We hiked one of the largest active volcanoes in the country, got bedbug bites because we slept in such shady accommodation. And here's us with some local friends after they recommended us to take some buses to get to only areas that they go for their summer vacation. And after I came back, I realized that I really wanted to do it all over again. I was hooked. So after completing my diploma, I decided to give myself a little grad trip. So I went and bought a ticket to go to India and decided to backpack across the country a few weeks on my own. Signed up for couch surfing, slept on the houses of strangers. My first day in Mumbai, no maps, no local language. I did not even have a smartphone. So imagine a little 18-year-old girl wandering the streets alone. I took the overnight train from Delhi up north to Darjeeling, and it was in a third-class carriage where everything was open, no doors, people just slept on bunk beds stacked up on each other. And this incident, when the train conductor wanted to check my passport, everyone in the whole carriage gathered around to take a look at what a foreign passport looked like. It was really awkward for me. The next morning, when we wanted to get down the train, I realized I lost one side of my slipper. And this really kind local man activated the entire carriage to search for that one side of slipper for me. He looked under the beds, in the toilets, and guess what? That side of slipper was never to be found. I also hiked across from India to Nepal with a local guide. My first hiking experience, and boy, I was underprepared. Went with jeans and sneakers, and you can see me in the photo here with really baggy outfits, because my guide had to lend me his outfits. So after I came back to Singapore, completed my degree, and I got a really nice job at a luxury hotel. Great job, great bosses, lovely environment in a 5-star hotel. It was a nice salary, and life was really comfortable. Then one day, I just sat there after a few years of work and wondering, hey, is that all there is to life? Is this the real world that the adults kept telling you about? You know, when you go to school and your teacher say, hey, you better study hard. Otherwise, in the real world, it's not going to be so easy. So I really wanted to find out, what is this real world? Am I not living in one? So I did the next best thing I knew, bought a one-way ticket to the cheapest and furthest place I could, and ended up in Scandinavia, in Stockholm. Little did I know that this will be a 6-month adventure traveling across the country by myself. making amazing friends, not knowing where my next destination was, relying on local advice, taking again the cheapest buses and trains, and having a great adventure. This was one of my first time in a hostel in Tallinn, Estonia. I was all alone in my little shell, just checking in, and really introverted and shy. And this group of European backpackers, students as well, came to speak to me and say, hey, would you like to explore the city with us together? Being really shy, I said no. They asked me 3 times, and I said no. But I told myself, okay, if they ask me again, I'm going to say yes. And I'm so happy that they did. And off we went exploring the city together. And we ended up being best friends. We traveled 2 countries together, and I even visited one of them, Rick, at his hometown in the Netherlands. Somehow I found myself in a Ukrainian forest as well, in a rock music concert, not speaking the language, not understanding the people, but making so many friends. They invited me to stay in their camp overnight. And the next day, I realized I had no money to get out of the forest. So I had to sit next to one of the locals and say, hey, can you lend me $5 so I could go back? And thankfully, he did. Somehow or rather, I was also having a barbecue in a Ukrainian prison with the officers and the prisoners, all because I met another local that said, hey, would you want to go to the barbecue in the prison? And off we went. Yeah, why not, right? And the only local word I learned was niet, which means no, when the officers kept trying to make me drink vodka. So after all these, I realized that life is all about forging authentic, meaningful connections by being uncomfortable and discovering yourself and the world with that childlike wonder again. And this journey is unique to you. And guess what? Nobody can take that joy of discovery away from you. So after coming back to Singapore, I found myself doing a master's degree at NUS, studying all over again, and there was a particular subject there about venture capital that really made me fascinated. It's all about how you build businesses from nothing, having a strong team working together out of nothing to create great visions and great products. And that's when I decided to get a job at Rocket Internet, one of a venture builder. Soon after working, I realized, hey, I really want to go explore again, and I really want to travel again. I can't keep working for the rest of my life. Then I had a thought. Instead of being so selfish and sharing all these amazing, priceless memories and experiences for myself, why not share it with everyone else, especially the friends who kept asking me, hey, where are you going again? And that's where the idea of Anywhr started, to encourage people to venture into the unexpected and discover the unknown. So that was at Rocket Internet where I met my co-founder, Felix. We were colleagues. And I shared this idea with him about, hey, just sending people to airports and they don't know where they go. Sounds great, right? So he thought for a minute and he said, that might actually work. And from there, it got started. It wasn't so easy. We worked weekends, we worked months, sleepless nights, long hours, developing a website. None of us could code. We built it from scratch with a template. We did not know whether it would work or not. We just kept doing it, refining it, testing it, and researching it. And one day, we suddenly got an email saying that we had a booking. So I remember we were working in a shopping mall. Malls were closed. We were using the Wi-Fi in the lobby for free. And I asked him, hey, are you doing a test booking? He said, no, did you? And I wasn't. So that was our very first booking. And guess what? We freaked out. We did not know what to do. I did not know how to plan trips. We did not have a little guidebook. We promised them they would have. No idea where to send her. Oh man, we didn't know it really would work. So imagine being that first traveler, just packing your backpack, heading on to the airport, and then opening an envelope that reveals your destination. Next thing you know, you are on a plane to somewhere you might never have heard of before, just discovering the journey. Since then, we have grown to a huge team of 10 really supportive, great members, and the number of travelers have kept growing. Some of them, Arif, he went on his first surprise trip, solo trip with Anywhr, saying that was his greatest achievement of his life. We had a father and daughter, Carys and a father. They went on jeeps and motorbikes up mountains, and he was absolutely terrified, but he said it was hands down the best experience he ever had. We also have many couples going on their romantic and adventurous getaways with us. Esther and Samuel, they're currently still on their honeymoon trip with Anywhr. We have many couples who just go right after ROM, right after their wedding dinner. Really amazing. And this was our idea. And having our customers experience it is just so satisfying. With that, I would like to encourage all of you to go take that leap to embrace the joy of discovery. Do something you have never done before, be it taking up a new challenge, reading a new book, stop drinking every day of the week, or simply just taking a plane to anywhere. Challenge yourself and be uncomfortable. The rest will follow. Thank you.